Hey, this is Tom with BuncombeShinola. There is a brand new Beatles song, and I thought in light of that, it might be interesting to review and comment on this video I found on YouTube where every Beatles song is qualitatively ranked, including the two posthumously concocted tracks from Anthology. And do a quick response. I haven't watched this a lot, but I do remember that on the whole, most people, I think, are prejudiced against the early Beatles material. I guess, the later stuff is just held in higher regard or is more well-known and popular. And obviously that hurt some tracks. And also, I don't know how they were quite collating the numbers, but there are some tracks that are only known in England that aren't so well known in America, and vice versa. Like There's a Place is not very well known in America, and some of the covers are not well known in England. That certainly seemed to hurt some tracks. And definitely Ringo and George are getting shit on pretty hard. But Paul, of course, some of his goofier shit is inexplicably high in the rankings. But I thought it'd be fun to just zip through this real fast and do a quick comment response, and you can see where I'm coming from where I consider the band, how I regard the band's music. And at the end, I will also tell you where I would place their three posthumous songs, including the new Now and Then. Okay, here we go. Steve's already pointed out that this list was not compiled. It's complied. Perhaps it's going to have to be arrested. We'll see how it goes. No, I'm sure we can all guess what's going to be on the bottom here. Of course, Revolution 9 was avant-garde, dropped into the lap of mainstream audience. They were obviously not ready for it. That isn't surprising. Honey Pie's a little goofy. Okay, we already have a real solid early track getting shit on. Little Child is better than that, certainly. Here's a couple kind of cheesy early covers. They're not that bad. But note, we should already know we're already up to 5 out of 10. We're already mediocre, so we're doing pretty good. Honey Don't should be higher. Boy should be higher. Ringo's already getting shit on. Dizzy Miss Lizzy, why do people dislike it? It's great. I don't understand why people shit on it so hard. It's way better. It's Matchbox, again, these are very decent covers that do not need to be this low on the list. Mr. Moonlight is surely the one that should be below 5, and it's way worse than shit it's ahead of. Again, Not a Second Time? I mean, that is a great song. This should not be that low. When I Get Home, solid. Again, Slow Down is not as good as Dizzy Miss Lizzy. It should be the other way around. Dig It probably should be down there. Bad Boy, another Larry Williams cover getting shit on. There's a Place, like I said, most Americans don't know about it, so that might have hurt it. Maggie May is not even like a whole song, I understand. Ringo getting shit on some more. Ask Me Why. Misery is another song that's not on the American version of the record, so perhaps that hurt it. Baby It's You is actually a really good early cover. Again, here's some mediocre early stuff. I kind of get it here. Continuing Story of Bungalow Bill, surely that's a little low for that, although we are already at 6 out of 10, so I get it. Every Little Thing, I think, is a little better than this. Flying's instrumental, I guess I get it. Ringo still getting shit on. Act Naturally is great. I'll Cry Instead is, a great song from the English Hard Day's Night. That doesn't make any sense. Don't Bother Me, a solid early George song. Oh, he's already getting shit on, serious. Roll Over Beethoven is not one of their better covers. Thank You Girl, that's probably a little high for that. Run for Your Life, modern canceling. People don't like it now, whatever. Why Don't We Do It in the Road should be near the bottom. I'll Get You, that's probably a little high for I'll Get You. Ringo getting shit on some more. Good Night with What Goes On. I don't. And three Ringo songs in a row. Those all could be a little higher. My Name. I'm kind of surprised that's not near the bottom. I guess people are hip to the comedy of it. Finally, I Call Your Name is that's a pretty solid ranking for that one. I like it. Hold Me Tight is better than that. Should probably be a little higher. Piggies, again, George is still kind of getting dissed. Rock and Roll Music is not one of their better covers. Certainly, the Larry Williams covers are better than that. Anna is a solid early cover. All Together Now is goofy Paul. What You're Doing could probably be a lot lower than that. Again, P.S. I love you and you can't do that are almost the same. That's ridiculous. You can't do that. It's way cooler. Please, Mr. Postman's not that great. That could be lower. I'll be back. I mean, that is way better. That should be way higher. All I got to do. Okay, what we got here? We have a stretch here of early material that should be way higher than that. All I got to do. Yes, it is. Babies in Black. Those should all be way higher than that. That's ridiculous. Honey Pie. That's about right, probably. I don't know. That's an incredible George song. Not high enough. That's surprisingly high for the George song from Hard Day's Night, though. You Really Got a Hold of Me is held in some regard, apparently. Another Girl, that's kind of high for that one. That's a little low for any time at all, I think. The Word probably needs to be a little lower. Most of the medley from Abbey Road seems to be considered one long song. They're all kind of similarly ranked. It's Only Love is underrated. That's probably close to right. Blue Jay Way. Now mediocre George songs are getting they're highly better regarded. I don't understand it. It's a little low for Love Me Do. Tell Me Why is a good song. That's probably about right. These are a little low, really. Birthday, it's all too much. Only, I don't know, maybe 7 out of 10 is right. Till There Was You, that could be lower, please. Okay, I Needed You is not the name of that song, but that's probably a little high for this track from Help. It Won't Be Long, that's a great song. I'm glad it's up high. Again, more mediocre George is oddly high. Things We Said Today, I know that's it's held in modern regard for sure. Rocky Raccoon, that's probably a little high. Love You Too, finally, Quality George is up here. That's good to see up high. Maxwell's Silver Hammer, that needs to be way lower, way lower. Okay, George is finally getting some due. His stuff is like climbing up to where it should be. That's a little high for weight. I mean, it's good, but I don't know, ahead of Within You Without You? I mean, what the hell, man? A clump of George, solidly ranked. That's good. Little high for Your Mother Should Know. There's the Acoustic Revolution. Unsurprisingly, it's below the electric, I'm sure. Think for Yourself. That's pretty high for, I don't know. Why is that George song so high? I don't get it. And another one, I want to tell you. Why is all those George songs all suddenly so high? I don't get it. All right. I'm a Loser and I'll Follow the Sun. I mean, those are too high for that. Those should be lower. A little lower. Everybody's got something to high except for Me and My Monkey. I mean, how can that? Okay, well, we're not up quite to the top 100 yet, but I'd call that surprisingly high. It almost beat Obla Di Obla Da, and people seem to love that piece of shit. Okay, we got the first new track, Freeze a Bird. I might think that's kind of right, really. For Me to You, we're getting into some definitely B or higher grade material. When I'm 64, Night Before, that's pretty fucking high for Night Before. That needs to be lower. Real Love is ahead of Freeze a Bird. That's good, I'd say. Sun King, again, it seems like the Beatles medley is getting over-regarded individually. Glass Onion, it seems a little high for that. That's definitely too high for You Won't See Me. That's fucking ridiculous. I should have known better. I think that's great. That's solid. No Reply, I'm surprised that didn't get shit on. That's a great song. That deserves to be around here. Dig a Pony could probably be a little lower. Your Blues kicks ass. This Boy I'm surprised that got so high. It's awesome. It deserves it. It's a little high for Mother Nature's Son. A little high for If I Needed Someone. That's solid for Ballad of John Yoker, I would say. Finally, Ringo isn't shit on. He gets Octopus's Garden up here in the upper ranks. Sexy Sadie is wonderful. That deserves to be this high, I think. Me, Mr. Mustard, and Polythene Pam are just like bouncing in here on the coattails of the medley, I would guess. Seems kind of high for Lovely Rita. It's good, but I don't know. Please Please Me, classic. Martha, that is way too high for Martha, My Dear. Come on, man. Every Paul ballad is not A-list. Come on, people. And come on, man. Drive My Car, that shit needs to be lower. I don't give a shit what anyone says. That song is lame. Get that shit down lower. Dang it. It's almost as good as, it's Drive My Car almost as good as I Saw Her Standing There. I don't think so, man. If I Fell, I'm glad that's high as it is. Almost as high as And I Love Her. That's not a surprise, I guess I'd say. We're definitely getting into all top-notch material pretty much here. Michelle's great. Can't Buy Me Love is great. I mean, probably should be a little lower. I'm So Tired ahead of Julia. That seems a little weird. Julia is obviously more transcendent, but I'm So Tired is great. I'm not bitching. I can't believe she said Got So High. I figure that's too far out for most people. That's cool. Not as cool as The Long and Winding Road, apparently, though. Man, that song sucks. I don't care what anyone... I will? Come on, man. That shit's got to go lower. I'm looking through you as ahead of Girl. What the shit is up with that? Girl is better. Come on, man. That is absurd. That is absurd. You know, okay, we're getting into the better Paul songs here. No argument for me here. Got to Get You in My Life. Awesome. I've Just Seen a Face. One of my favorites. That's Because seems a little high. You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. It's fantastic. I'm glad it's up there. Now we're getting into Stone Cold classics pretty much. Oh, except for Lady Madonna. that could probably go down a bit. I'm surprised Taxman is so high, honestly. Likewise, And Your Bird Can Sing is another track from Revolver that I would have expected not doing well on a list like this, but I'm glad they're both up here. They're both amazing songs for sure. No arguments here. These are all great songs. Back in the USSR, Two of Us is wonderful. I'm surprised it got so high. But it's great. It's great. These are all great. All My Loving's great. I'm Only Sleeping. I'm kind of surprised it's that high, but I love it. Hard Day's Night, classic. I Feel Fine. I'm surprised isn't a smidge lower, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Nowhere Man, great. She Loves You, great. I've Got a Feeling. Come on, man. That needs to be a lot lower. Carry that, again, the medley, the end of the medley, the significant parts of the medley are popping up pretty high. Hey Bulldog is inexplicably popular latter day right now. It's great, but I don't know why it's tops all of a sudden. Ticket to Ride, I'm surprised I Want You is so up there. I'm glad people like the intense stuff. I figured they'd be not ready for it. All classics here. Want to Hold Your Hand, Across the Universe, I'm the Wars. This is all awesome stuff. Dear Prudence, I'm glad that got so high. I think it's amazing. One of their best tracks, and I'm glad it's that high. All classics here. Lucy in the Sky, no complaints. Norwegian Wood, no complaints. These are all For No One. I'm kind of surprised that is a McCartney song of quality. It's good to see that. That one, no arguments, fantastic. The Real Revolution is up real high. You Never Give Me Your Money. Again, I don't know how people are judging parts of the medley against each other. It seems kind of weird. I'm surprised Tomorrow Never Knows is up there. I know weirdos like me love it, but I don't think everyone loves it. Oh Darling, that is too high for Oh Darling. That shit needs to be Here, There, and Everywhere. Come on, man. It's nice, but come on, man. This is better Paul stuff though. Here generally, I have no arguments. Skelter, Paperback Writer, Golden Slumbers. I'm not sure how people are. I'm not. I guess so. I guess the medley is great. Yes, but I don't get it. It's cool to see Rain up high. We're really getting close to the top here. Blackbird, obviously transcendent. Come Together. I thought that might be a little lower, but it's cool to see it up here. Hey Jude, obviously. Let It Be, obviously. Penny Lane, obviously. Here Comes the Sun. Experiencing a modern uptick puts George Harrison at equal footing with John and Paul inside the Beatles' top 10. Eleanor Rigby was Never Not Be Brilliant. Yesterday, obviously, is as popular as any song ever. The End, I'm kind of surprised to see that jump in the middle of these classics. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, obviously, is probably George's greatest composition ever. In My Life, top notch. Some things got ahead for George, though. That's cool, I guess. And Strawberry Fields Forever, obviously, I think there's no question. Those are probably the two best Beatles tracks right on the top there. No argument for me. Wow, that was kind of intense. Those, as far as the three new, unquote, Beatles songs, that would be Free as a Bird, Real Love, and the new one, which I just was listening to now and then. I guess I would probably put the two pretty close to where they ended up in the rankings. I think Real Love is the best of the three. I don't really consider them Beatles songs. They're really just John solo career demo fragments that they have been fleshed out, and it's cool. But I definitely think of the three, Real Love is closest to being a full good song, complete. I do think Free as a Bird is a more interesting production, and I think Now and Then obviously seems definitely has the least amount of rough edges on it. Definitely is, smoothed out and the production's very nice. But I do think it's probably the least of the three fragments for me. I'd probably have that a little lower. But, 110, 100, 90-ish. I could live with that for those three. But yeah, there you go. My response to the every Beatles song ranked from worst to best. Thanks for checking it out, and keep listening to the Beatles, and hope you all are doing okay. Talk to you again soon.